upset since this all happened. He gets crazy when he drinks. The way he's been drinking, there's no telling what he'd do. Look what I had to take away from him last night.
She reaches in the cabinet and shows Perlman a pistol.
Where is Mr. Kent? I should be speaking with him as well.
Mr. Kent. Oh, no. Gordon's not Mr. Kent. Kim's real father left us when she was 2. Gordon and I will be getting married soon. As soon as we saved up for his divorce.
She carefully hides the pistols under some linens.
I don't want you to get the wrong idea. Gordon is a good man, basically. A very good man. He believes in strong family values. He's crazy about Kim. And she's fond of him too. He takes good care of us both. He has been more of a father to her for these last 3 years. You have to meet him. She'll be back in a minute.
Okay. While we're waiting, may I use your phone?
Mrs. Kent indicates the phone, and Dr. Perlman picks up and dials.
Public Prosecutor's Office, please. Doug Green? Doug? This is Janet. Yeah, I'm at their house now. I spoke with her, but not the parents yet. Badly, I'm afraid. You know, I'm really not very good at this, Doug. You should have gotten a specialist for this sort of case. Yeah, but there's another thing. When I talk to her, it really gets to me on a personal level. Some bad memories start coming back. Yeah, in fact, I was younger than... I've spent years finally learning to deal with it. You know, I thought I was fine. I might have something to do with why I'm even in this profession, but when I talk to that little girl, I really start to lose it. And I'm not sure that's why, but I'm certainly not getting anywhere with her. Cooperate? Yeah, I think she wants to. I mean, she's bright, articulate. She's repressed the entire incident. She's not near ready to be put on the stand. She may never be. Well, what about him? She was found naked in his house, and then there's the medical evidence, isn't there? Won't he confess and plead guilty? Well, I need more time. Oh, no. Well, I appreciate that, Doug, but you have to understand this is not going to be easy for me. Airtight. Okay, I'll try. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Dr. Perlman hangs up the phone. Gordon enters from the hall, followed by Mrs. Kent.
What's this about you letting that son of a bitch go?
Gordon told you. She's just a psychologist. Doesn't have anything to do with it.
A shrink? Her? You're kidding.
No, really. She's a doctor.
No kidding. What's she doing here anyway?
Janet Perlman. I'm the consultant with the Children's Services. Mr. Green asked me to speak with Kimberly. You must be Mr.
Fenton? Gordon Fenton. Well, if you're a psychologist, don't you think that old man is sick? I mean, don't you keep somebody like that locked up? Aren't you supposed to protect the public from people like him?
The judge says he's not a threat.
Not a threat! Does the judge have to live in the same neighborhood with him? Does the judge have to protect his family from freaks and crazies like him?
The man has been charged. Mr. Green and the police are working very, very hard on this case. But in the meantime, I mean, he's going to be put on trial, but in the meantime, he is presumed innocent.
Sure. Everybody's got rights. Well, what about our rights? What about Kimmy's rights?
Well, that's why I'm here. To look out for her rights, to get her side of the story.
What a rotten society we live in. I mean, look around you. Sex and violence everywhere. Every time you turn on the TV, movies, magazines, even the radio. Nothing but cheap sex. It's like the media is deliberately trying to turn Americans into animals. Don't you think? It's no wonder there's so much of this sort of thing going on out there. Just like there's so much AIDS and so much drugs and so much teen pregnancy.
Well, it's not so much that there's more child abuse than there used to be. We're just able to talk about it more these days.
Yeah, but in the old days, you did something about it. You know, it used to be if someone messed around with a man's woman or his child, he could just blow him away. Nobody would think a thing about it.
Yes, fortunately, we've progressed beyond that now.
So, what have you actually done then, other than turn him loose so he can rape somebody else's child?
Okay, I just spoke with the prosecuting attorney, and we've gotten the medical results back. There is evidence that there had been sexual penetration within the previous 6 hours.
Bastard!
But
Damn sweet! Sweet. Do you know that that's where 90% of the world's pornography comes from? Imagine an old cripple like him living alone with all those dirty pictures. No way he can get himself a regular woman. So, wham, he has to go out and poke a helpless little kid. Listen, if I get a hold of him first, you won't have to put him on trial. I'll take care of him myself. He'll be worse than cripple when I get done with him.
okay, if there's to be a trial, a lot will rest on Kimberly's account of the incident. So far, she's not given us much of anything to go on.
Well, I'll talk to her.
No. Let her work it out herself first, okay? She'll tell us when she's ready. For now, she seems to have blocked out the entire incident. She substituted a fantasy, a unicorn fantasy. Symbolism is obvious, I'm afraid. But unfortunately, juries do not convict on symbolism. So I just wish I had more time so I could help her deal with it. But for now, all she'll talk about is unicorns.
She's fond of unicorns. Her room is full of them. Pictures of them.
Yeah, but that one poster, you know the one. It looks like it belongs in a Playboy magazine, not a little girl's room.
It's a sweet picture. It's her favorite.
Yeah? Let's see what old Doc thinks about this. See, it shows this babe. See, she's sitting in the woods and she's wearing this flimsy kind of see-through dress and it's kind of falling off of her. And then there's this unicorn horse thing with its nose, its big old nose sitting in her lap, and it has this big grin on its face. Yeah, it has this big grin on its face like it's getting ready.
It does not! He's making that up. How can a horse grin?
Unicorn. Horses and unicorns are near universal fantasies for pre-adolescent girls. Maybe it represents the fear of sexuality.
Sexuality. I hate to say this, but that's it exactly. Kids don't know how to be kids anymore, and Kimmy is no exception. Look at the way they dress today. Go to any mall, like high school kids and younger. No bras, short skirts, tons of makeup. Swear to God, they would be hookers. There are some things a mother is supposed to teach a kid, but most mothers these days are too busy running around themselves.
What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean. Did you ever tell her about men? About leading them on? Being careful with strangers. You know how she is, especially with adults. Especially with adults of the opposite sex. If she'd learned to show a little more respect, she'd never have gotten into this mess. Face facts. What she is a little flirt. You know I love Kimmy. I love her like she was my own, but let's face it. If she keeps going the way she's doing now, she'll be knocked up before she hits high school. And then what are you going to do?
How can you say that? She's just a baby.
Yeah? Well, let's remember whose baby she is. Like mother, like daughter.
You know, Kimberly seems a normal, healthy 11-year-old. Are you trying to blame her for what's happened?
Blame her? No! How can I blame her? I blame him, that horny Swede up the hill. All I'm saying is that she needs to know when to keep her panties on. Because in this world there are a lot of horny bastards out there, just like him. Even a normal guy loses control once in a while, but a pervert like him, a girl needs to know who to steer clear of. I can't be the one to tell her these things. It has to come from her mother.
Okay, I need to talk to you both about what happened that night. How did you know she'd gone to Mr. Gunderson's?
It turned out she'd been going there since about 3 weeks ago. It was right after school let out. She came and asked me if she could go swimming. I figured one of her better off friends must have a pool, so I said all right, just as long as there was an adult there to supervise. And every morning, she took her bathing suit, took off, and never thought anything of it until Mrs. Copperfield.
Yeah, the neighborhood busybody.